Virginia senators face tough questions today from local business leaders during a forum hosted by the Hampton Roads Chamber. From questions about recently passed legislation to issues such as internet privacy, nothing was off the table.
10 on your side's John Dowding has more from this morning's event and whether Congress can pass two important spending bills before Christmas.
With an omnibus spending bill looming and a lot of questions in Washington in the last few weeks of this current congressional session, Virginia's two senators were here in Norfolk answering questions from business leaders. Question:
how do we leverage our democracy to counter those kinds of sustained threats and challenges?
After question:
what can we do to support?
Hampton Roads business leaders spared no tough questions during a Q&A with Virginia Senators Mark Warner and Tim Kaine. They participated in a forum hosted by the Hampton Roads Chamber Monday morning, answering questions from attendees and giving their thoughts on the most recent session of Congress.
Well, this past 2 years have been, I would argue, maybe the most productive since I've been in Congress. And I would argue that even over the first couple of years of the Obama administration. A group of us in a bipartisan fashion came together.
Both senators discussed the impacts recently passed legislation has had and will have on Hampton Roads.
What was in the American Rescue Plan specifically for Hampton Roads? What was in the bipartisan infrastructure law for Virginia and specifically for Hampton Roads?
But as they discuss legislative successes, many continue to feel the impacts from inflation, especially right around the holidays. But Senator Warner believes there may be an end in sight to high prices in 2023.
That doesn't get you through Christmas. But I do think help will be a bit on the way, and I hope a lot of the focus will now move to the state. The state's sitting on $3 billion of surplus.
Another topic of discussion, whether Congress would pass new spending and defense bills, two pieces of legislation with major impacts in Virginia if passed.
We have $30 million for Craney Island expansion, which will enable the Port of Virginia to pursue its path of being the most active port on the East Coast. And we have $25 million to save Tangier Island.
As far as the spending bill, both senators tell me they feel pretty confident they'll be able to pass something before the Christmas holiday. In Norfolk, I'm John Dowding, 10 on your side.